Hello and welcome to Force 13's live updates. We're talking typhoons and other storms that are active in the Pacific right now because we have several. My name is Nathan Foy, and over the next hour, and possibly a bit more than now, depending how things go, we're going to be talking about everything that's going on in the world of storms right now. I'm joined as ever by several other people this evening. Only two today, actually. Daniel, hi.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. Good evening or morning, wherever you are.
Indeed. And John, hello.
Oh crap! I'm doing. Crap! I think. Hi,
Six
how
days
you
in a
doing?
row.
Yeah, I know. Number 6. You know, when things are active, I like to, pay attention and
Well.
join in discussion.
Excellent. And so do we. As we will be doing over the next hour. Well, let's go straight to the first visible images that we're seeing right now in the Western Pacific. You can see on my screen here. The two storms, Chan-Hom on the top left, which is still delivering gales to China, I expect, and Nangka, which is down towards the southeast there, which is also weakening at this time. Funny to think that Nangka was once a borderline Cat 5 storm, didn't quite get there.
Doesn't look like it now.
Only a Category 1 typhoon now, winds I believe 90 miles per hour if I'm not mistaken. And Chan-Hom barely holding on to typhoon status too, with winds of 75 miles per hour. Entering the picture on the right hand side are two more systems. Two tropical storms as they are now. On the left hand side, well, center of your image really, is Tropical Storm Halola, which is in the Central Pacific, expected to enter the Western Pacific very soon, actually, in the next 24 hours or so. It could become a typhoon as it heads towards Wake Island. Oh, we've lost John, unfortunately.
No.
Further east, we have Tropical Storm Iune, I think it is, Iune, which is, I think, the one down here. That's an interesting blob there. Could be that, actually. I'll have to find out on the... let's just go and consult the imagery here. Oh, yes, it is higher up. A bit misleading, that. There they are again. It should actually be different on the map now, but they've not updated the map yet.
Sorry, I clicked X by accident.
How foolish!
And I was trying to open up a new tab and hit X.
So did I.
Meanwhile, in the Eastern Pacific, we have Tropical Depression 5E, which has formed. This will become, most likely, Tropical Storm Dolores very soon. Interesting to note that this one is the one that appears to be becoming a tropical storm first, because the models were saying quite consistently that the one on the left, 97E, would become the storm first, but that doesn't look so likely anymore. Some questions, first of all. I think Stephen P. Shaw says, Aloha, Halola. So, what will the storm's name be when it crosses the international dateline? And Martinez correctly states that it will keep the name, just like Genevieve did last year when it crossed the dateline, and several other storms doing the same. John, of course, being another. And Ioka as well.
No.
Any comments on the storms that we're looking at the moment, guys?
I noticed that we only have one tropical storm in the Central Pacific. Because I'm looking at the CPMHC site and I'm only seeing one. I'm only seeing TD2 and then tropical storm.
No, trust me, it's a tropical storm now.
They haven't updated this yet.
We do have to. If you scroll up to the top, you'll see both of them there.
Oh. Someone failed to update.
At the moment, yes. But Halola wind speeds of 50 miles per hour. Iune with winds of 40 miles per hour, of course. Both of them are similar pressures, actually, even though Halola, in my opinion, is looking much better. 1002 for Halola, 1003 for Iune right now as well.
Because it's 1 millibar deeper.
Yeah. Let me try and get some radar imagery up, but whilst I take a look for that, we'll leave you with the latest satellite imagery once more. It would be quite helpful if this actually had country outlines, but I don't think it does. You can see Japan here. The Korean Peninsula is going to be somewhere around here where my mouse is hovering. Coast of China, just off the west side of the typhoon. The Philippines somewhere down here. First light arriving in the West Pacific.
Yeah, Halola looks a lot better. To me, I agree with you. It does look a lot better. I mean, it definitely looks like it has a tighter rotation than Iune, but that could be just me looking at the image.
Right.
However, they still have lots of time. They're in the deep Pacific. They're in high temperature water. They have plenty of time to strengthen.
Daniel, why so much noise over there?
What's all that racket? What's all that racket over there?
Racket.
There is a big racket, and it's not a Raquel either. Storm died a few days ago.
However, I am
About a
noticing.
week ago now, wasn't it?
Should I mute myself?
If you're not talking, that might be helpful.
Okay.
I also notice. What's the other one? The Iune tropical storm out there now?
Iune, I think.
Iune. I think I'm looking at the shear map right now, and there's some strong shear to the north of it.
What you can see on my screen right now is the radar from China, and in a moment I'm going to load what we've got in Korea right now as well, because lots of rainfall actually in the area. If you there it is, the rain rate reaching, what is it, on the west coast of Jeju Island there. What colours are we looking at there? Around 25, 30, maybe higher millimeters per hour.
That's a lot.
South Korea itself is actually less wet than North Korea at the moment, it seems.
There's still a big cluster in North Korea. There's still a huge cluster in there somewhere.
Yeah. I was going to search for something else as well, but I've completely forgotten what that was going to be. Yes, the South Korean warnings. Because I'm sure there'll be some warnings in effect now. Daniel? Have you got any rants for us today? We would love hearing them.
Not really. I'll try and think of some though.
You're trying things. Yeah, no warnings actually in effect. No typhoon warnings for the mainland of Korea yet. There are sea typhoon warnings for this area here, extending up here too, but no actual typhoon warnings in effect at this time, I don't think. I'll actually read out what it says because I'm not familiar with these places, so hopefully on the actual website it will help you help you understand where it is if you know or are familiar with the area. Apparently, according to the South Korea's website, typhoon alert in effect for Honghyuksan, Myeonbada South Island, Southern Yellow Sea. Oh, I think Myeonbada might be a Korean word for something or other. It's a translator on here, you see, that's why it sounds a bit weird. But typhoon warning southern western areas, which is offshore sea areas predominantly. Heavy rain warnings, as far as I can tell, marked in blue on this map. It's a strange map as well. Heavy rain warnings in effect for the island of Jeju right now, which would make sense because of that band there with the heavy rainfall occurring. Out at sea as well, some rain warnings it appears, and gale warnings as well. The actual Korean Peninsula itself, only the southwestern coast is experiencing warnings of any sort, as far as I can gather, but I'm still not sure exactly what. But I expect there's some heavy rainfall occurring sporadically there at the moment, going to be increasing in frequency, and wind speeds are going to be getting up there as well if they're not already fairly high, because it's a fairly wide storm, probably undergoing extratropical transition, if not now, very soon, and that wind field must be rather larger than what it was before.
Yeah, the placing is right for extratropical transition right now. The placing is quite right.
Well, of course.
About it. It's up in the north-ish, and it's at that mid-latitude area where storms usually begin the extratropically transition.
Yeah, it's around 30 something, 32 something like that degrees north.
However, I don't expect. I'm not surprised if this thing, Chan-Hom still maintains hurricane force winds past extratropical transition.
Oh, I think. Well, I don't know about that actually because
So I wouldn't be surprised.
just predict quick weakening. It is still tropical as far as we know at this point. Let's see what the JTWC said, if anything, actually, on perhaps the prognostic reasoning there. Okay, so tracked north-northeastward at 15 knots. Significant weakening of the system, evidenced by shearing and convective erosion, especially along the northern flank. That seemed fairly apparent. The forecast expected to continue accelerating. They spelled Chan-Hom wrong there. Look, they said Chang-Hom.
Foolish.
JTWC has made a little bit of a mistake there. Continue accelerating northeastward through the remainder of the forecast period. Will make landfall over North Korea, just north of the DMZ, just prior to 24 hours from now. Then dissipate over the rugged Hamgyong Mountains by 36 hours. Weaken at a relatively fast rate due to increasing vertical wind shear, I'm guessing that stands for, and cooling sea surface temperatures. By the time it makes landfall, it will be at minimal tropical storm intensity. However, the cyclone packs a large wind radius, as I said, and is still expected to usher in a wide swathe of gale force winds into the west coast of Korea. The numeric models have come into a tighter agreement, lending high confidence to the track forecast. And if you want to see just a picture, if you work in pictures like many of us do, that is how it's looking in the next 36 hours.
Hang on a sec, I got something. Here.
Oh, wind shear, okay. Yeah, it's on the increase.
Yes.
On the increase for both storms there. They're really, look at the amount of wind shear there in the West Pacific now.
Yeah, look at it's almost surrounded Chan-Hom.
It's almost taken over the whole ocean.
Yeah. So I'm guessing this is going to be the last activity we see in these specific places at this specific time.
Well, yes. Well, no. With the arrival of Halola in the next 48 hours.
Do you think there's going to still be a ton of shear by the time Halola arrives?
Well, I've not taken a look at what the forecast is for it, but it must be going down soon because they're predicting it to be a typhoon in 5 days' time. So
I'm just wondering how did the ocean get this much shear? That's what I wonder.
Maybe it's coming from the Indian Ocean.
Yeah, let me take a look at the Indian Ocean.
It was a dead zone yesterday.
Yeah,
I don't know whether it still is.
It might be looking better. Oh, it's
Any questions for us, by the way, please send us a message on the YouTube page right now. We've gone to Europe. Send us a message on the YouTube page, and I'll be more than happy to answer it. And if you've got a question for John or Daniel, you can also send them questions too.
Indian Ocean's always plenty of shear.
Decreasing.
Yeah.
Decreasing.
If anyone's got any suggestions for rants.
And Daniel, do you have any questions for any of the viewers?
No.
Yes.
Ha 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 ha.
Plenty of other things coming up on the show as well, including Gessler Storm. I know a lot of people like that. We'll do that towards the end. If you've got any other suggestions for features, by the way, when we're not tracking storms, of course, then we're all ears. Because when we're not being serious, quite often we do get serious, and we obviously have to track the storms, but rather than repeating ourselves every 10 seconds, we sort of have a little light and shade, and we have a little entertainment feature, and then we come back to give you an update, and then we do all that stuff. Breaking news, as soon as we get any breaking news on anything during any of our live events, it comes out straight away, so don't worry about that one.
I've got an idea for a rant.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah. Those...
It's like being in the tent again.
the bookie. It's one that may seem a bit stupid, but buggies, the push chairs. When you're walking down the street, and what's going on?
Nothing.
All right. When you got right, for example, if it's like those extra wide buggies, you can get that carry multiple
Okay.
babies in them. When I'm trying to walk down the street and they're blocking your way, it's the most annoying thing ever. You have to cross over the road into the road just to get past. Because you can't ask them to move, otherwise they'll be in the road.
Welcome to the world of Waniel.
They should have like be suspend be on giant supports, like an archway underneath you can walk through.
Interesting to note that the ATCF and the Navy and everyone, they've called the East Pacific Depression 5, as it should be, but they've still kept the number 98E, which is interesting.
Strange. Also at the same time, I'm also seeing a picture of Chan-Hom on your screen right now.
Yeah, that's what we're looking at there. That's the latest infrared image of Chan-Hom. And certainly not looking as good as it did 12 hours ago, never mind 24 or 36.
It looks like the so-called outer eye wall has taken over.
What's left of it? Is there even an eye wall?
There's not even an eye wall. It's looking more extratropical.
Yeah.
What the heck was that?
So,
What was what?
that must have been a passing vehicle in Daniel's room.
No, neighbourhood.
Neighbourhood. Pardon.
Yeah, it's a motorbike.
Crashed through the wall.
Almost. Martinez says, you mentioned that the website is being renovated. When will it be open for business again? Now, I know I've been harping on about this for absolutely ages. It's been about 3 months since the website was last updated properly. Hopefully there will be a new website coming very soon, and I do mean very soon now. It is my absolute determination objective that it will be done before the end of July. That's always been my final deadline. If it's not done before July, you have every excuse to do whatever you like.
I've got an idea.
To be angry, to be exact.
Yeah.
I've got an idea of when it'll be finished.
Yeah.
2020.
Don't be silly.
On the 17th of maybe November.
No, seriously, we are. Shut up. We are getting closer. It has to be said, and the new website will hopefully be up soon, bigger and better, and hopefully there will be features where our Force 13 team can also update the website themselves too, which would be really nice.
Will the wiki be linked?
I guess, if you ever update it again.
I'm just wondering, is it on the site now? Is Predictor Storm not working right now? I'm just curious. Is it working or not?
We're doing Predict a Season at the moment. Predict a Storm was sort of a scrapped ages ago.
I meant by Predict. That's what I meant. That's what I meant. Predict a Season.
If you're not familiar with Predict a Season, it is running. It hasn't been updated in some time, but I keep the records of every prediction, and by the end of the year, I will have the results. If you're interested in predicting how much activity we'll see in 2015 around the world or by basin, you can do it right now. Visit the Force 13 website. Actually, I'll load it if I can.
I'm not sure if mine got in.
What was your name under it?
It was my YouTube name.
I think it would have done.
Yeah. I don't know. I might have been in there 4 or 5 times because I was trying to see if I was working if it wasn't working or not. I don't know.
This was Predict a Season. This was last time I updated it, which must have been a while ago. It was when we had 20 storms anyway.
I did option 2.
Yeah, that's what the Predict a Season page looks like. It is operational. The contact forms on there, well, it's a contact form, but the submission form, they all get sent through, so don't worry about that. Even though there may be no visible change to the website page for some time. There you go, no updates since March the 30th, but I can't do everything at the same time, you know.
Yeah, if there's like 4 or 5 Victor Storms to me with all the same numbers, you can just delete them.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to see if it was working or not.
I see.
I got frustrated. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. If it happens, if I spammed you like that.
No,
Could
not
I-
at all.
Could I do another rant later?
You can do one now if you like.
Let's have a good shot. You're familiar with scatter cushions?
Hmm?
It's cushions. Cushions you get on the sofa. There's no purpose to them at all. They're just stupid. Why do people buy them?
Well, if without the cushions, you'd be sitting on the springs. Not sure.
No, I mean the little silly things you put on top.
Little silly things.
Yeah.
You mean the covers?
We have them here in this house. I don't know if anybody else does.
You mean the plastic, like everything covers or something?
Oh, it's hard to explain. I'll send you a link later.
All right.
But they're just pointless. They just end up on the floor.
Yeah.
Comforting
Okay.
pet hair.
We might need to put that in the best of Waniel list.
We do have some gale advisories in effect for Japan, for parts of Japan. There are still gale advisories in effect for the Amami Islands, and indeed, if I'm not mistaken, the far southwestern Ryukyu Islands as well. It's either Miyako or Yayama. I get confused between the two of them. But also quite a large part of the island of Kyushu as well. The largest, the most southerly of the four main islands of Japan, and also just about extending into Shikoku and Honshu too. So the southwestern Japan, basically, gale advisories in effect. We could see some gale force winds there and heavy rainfall. Heavy rain warnings, perhaps?
This might be like the most out of place question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Have there ever been tornadoes in Japan?
Well, I expect there have been. They occur in lots of places. If we can have them in the UK, then I'm sure they can have them in Japan.
Or I can have them in Rentham, Massachusetts.
Well, have you ever witnessed a tornado, John?
I've only seen them on camera. No, I haven't seen one like in.
Were you looking through the viewfinder when you were on the camera?
No.
You didn't actually see it, probably, you know. Yeah.
However, I did see the Springfield one on the news.
Right.
Wish I could see one.
That was an EF3. That we don't get those up here.
Those who are interested in US weather right now, here's the latest from the National Weather Service showing where all the warnings are right now. Is that a lot of heat in the central part of the country there? Sure is.
Yep. I think how hot is it up here? And let's see. Give me a second.
We can't afford a second, unfortunately.
Okay,
we also have severe thunderstorm watches in quite a sizable part of Illinois right now as well, with severe thunderstorm warnings in some places and possibly a tornado warning or two somewhere there. Can't quite see it. It must be a very small area on that map.
83.
Some more heat advisories further south in Florida into Georgia, and something else along the coast of the Outer Banks there.
Could be a rip current or something.
Severe thunderstorm watches and special marine warnings there as well. So an interesting day over in the States, at least for the eastern half. The western half looking a little bit quiet there.
I think the only thing that's happening in the western I heard is there's a drought going on.
Yeah. So how hot was it there today?
Where?
At your place?
Oh, 80. It's 83 right now.
Remarkable. We had a high of 80 Fahrenheit yesterday, which is quite above our average, which is around 66 for this time of year. I have to keep putting that into perspective because people will say, "Oh, that's not hot," but when you think about it, you want to, I guess, a more accurate definition of how hot it is, I guess, is how it compares to the average, the anomalies there, you know.
Yeah, I think England is on the same latitude of like Canada or something. Is it, or is it far northern than that?
Well, Canada's a really large place. I don't think how it could be more north than Canada.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
You're at 80 to 81 degrees north when you get to the part north of Canada, if not further. Here's another visible image from Himawari showing what's going on. Daniel, by the way, did you want to say something?
No.
Oh.
That's all,
surprised
all he
that.
wanted to say was no.
Yeah.
So here's our
Sorry.
two Central Pacific storms. Halola over there, and I'm still getting put off by that little thing down there, but I'm pretty sure this one is Iune,
And
and
ignore that swirl up above.
that swirl, well, guess what that is? I'm sure you know, John.
Post-tropical system
Gila.
Gila, yeah.
And you can also see it on this image too, which is, well, this one's far more cooler, isn't it, than the black and white one?
Color!
Colour! It's been invented, finally. 10-minute colour imagery. Brilliant. I wish NASA would do that.
And that's gonna happen.
Anytime soon. Who knows? Any questions about the storms that you'd like us to answer? We'll get onto it straight away. Let's see. No more questions yet. That means we're doing our job properly. Good. There's another shot of the storms there, and how Hawaii is in comparison with that. Hawaii is sort of caught between the two storms there, isn't it? Well, you can hardly call the top one a storm, but caught between two low pressure systems.
The one that's to the west of the western one, it looks really good in terms of a tropical storm.
It's getting there, and
I can definitely see some central dense overcast there too.
Yeah.
So
Excellent.
I wouldn't expect. I would expect that to be a hurricane strength within the next 60 or 72 hours,
All right.
depending if there's no shear. If there's no shear.
You're joining Force 13. My name's Nathan Foy, joined by John and Daniel, discussing the latest on all the goings-ons and proceedings around the world. Any world weather things you'd like us to bring up as well and investigate, or just to tell us about what your weather is. That'd be quite nice as well. Send us a message on the YouTube page right now, and we'll acknowledge at the very least.
We'll try to.
Little thing here, probably won't become anything, but interesting little tropical wave. In the meantime then, let's take a look at some models. CMC, we begin with as always, just because it's the alphabet.
A, B, C, D, never mind.
A, B, C, M, C. And you can see both the, well, all four Eastern Pacific systems. Now, before we go through this run, John, any bets on whether the Atlantic will see any storms on this run or not?
I don't see it.
Yeah, definitely not. 1,000,000 to 1 that we will.
If I see it, I'll be surprised.
Okay, well, let's take a look. So, gradual intensification of 5E. It's expected to become a hurricane, by the way, according to the National Hurricane Center, in the next 5 days, brushing along the coast of Mexico and then curving south. Interesting. Look at that. And intensifying whilst it does. That's interesting.
You don't see that happening.
Yeah, very strange, very strange. And another little system
Can you come back
behind
a
it.
couple frames for a second?
How many?
That's enough. I thought I saw something in the Atlantic, but I was wrong.
Oh no. What gave you that idea? What could make you possibly think anything would ever happen in the Atlantic?
I saw some greens and blues there.
Here's the ECMWF. Now, in the past, it's predicted quite a lot of this 5E, and it's doing so again. Here it is, monster storm yet again, still saying it. NHC doesn't agree, and that's in 5 days' time, being a very significant hurricane, at least a major, probably Cat 4, possibly Cat 5, as we progress. And it stays strong for a while too. Look at that. Amazing strength from that storm, beyond 20 degrees north.
You don't see that often.
And surprise, surprise, nothing in the Atlantic on that. The GFS, actually the GFDL first of all, taking a look at Halola. Oh, is that an old run? Sorry, not Halola, looking at 2C. which is now Iune. But you can also see Halola there as well. Oh, look, Iune goes straight away, and Halola becomes probably a typhoon over there in the West Pacific, around 165 degrees east. GFS then, the latest one from this model.
GFS likes to disagree.
With
Everything.
with everything. Well, look at that, predicting a significant storm again from
But
5E.
a slow-moving one, though.
Potential Dolores. You might be forgiven for thinking that, but it is every 3 hours compared to every 6 hours for all the other models. So it might look a bit slow as I progress along here. Look at that, a very significant storm. Wow. Luckily, that's out to sea.
Yeah.
Rather large as well.
Still a marvel to see, though.
Sure is. What else do we have?
Oh,
HWRF. What?
I made a pun.
Oh.
I said
Something bad then.
I said something about, well, it's a good marvel to see.
Let's move on. HWRF on 5E. Let's see what happens here. Not much is the answer. Oh, except towards the end there. And eventually probably reaches hurricane status. Okay, so Halola, let's see what happens with that. Gradual intensification again, typhoon strength I'd say, and then weakening, and then possible re-strengthening. Is that right?
Strange.
Gradual weakening that it goes towards day 5 and day 6. Daniel.
Yeah.
Don't yawn on air.
Oh, that was John.
Was it John?
Yes.
Maybe a small one.
Sorry, I'm just very used to Daniel doing it.
Honestly.
Inves 97E, also to become a tropical storm, possible hurricane. Yeah, likely hurricane actually. Nangka might be interesting to look at as well. Is there any way back for Nangka? HWRF seems to think so. Look at this. Intensification again to Category 3, Category 4 in the next 3 days, or day 4.
Stop that racket, Daniel.
And then a landfall in Japan as a typhoon on day 6. So that's really interesting. And finally, 2C, which I think we saw earlier. Iune now, of course, is the name. It's a tropical storm. Yeah, looking like a weak storm. Nothing to become of that. Navjam as well, may as well. What's that?
Nothing of real note.
Also predicting a significant storm to come out of 5E. So watch out on the East Pacific front there. Who's got the noise in the background? Is that Daniel?
Yeah,
Yes.
he muted himself.
Martinez says, just saw an ad for Sharknado 3 earlier today. Oh god, why? What is this, John?
Yeah.
Is it sort of like a hybrid between a shark and a tornado?
More like tornado full of sharks.
Right. Good,
Yeah.
good lord.
Only at the movies and only at Hollywood. Ain't that the case?
Would you like to be anywhere near Hollywood?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I said I don't know. You don't get hurricanes, but you get earthquakes.
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't.
No, it's too fake.
All the crazy things that happen there.
Yes, indeed. If you've just joined us, we're tracking several storms active right now. We've got Tropical Storm Halola in the Central Pacific, not too far from the international dateline. It says TD2C, but it actually, if you look closer, it's Tropical Storm Iune now. And they're being a little bit slow at updating that graphic, aren't they? I could have done a better job. This is the radar from Korea, showing the storm approaching and one of the bands striking Jeju Island right now, the island offshore the southern part of South Korea. the centre of the storm, I think, might be this thing here. We might get a better view of it if there's a new image right. Numbers to change.
It better
There we
be.
go. Here's the late image. With some heavy rainfall occurring on the western side of Jeju Island now.
I can see a partial eye wall.
Yeah, well, that's probably all we can hope for, really, in terms of that storm. Here's the latest Himawari image showing these storms. Actually, that's not the latest. I'll be loading it right now. But one of the latest. Nangka, of course, is still there as well. Only a weak typhoon now, with winds of 90 miles per hour, I think it still is. Not that weak, but in terms of typhoon categories, Category 1, the lowest of the 5 categories of the Saffir-Simpson hurricane wind scale. And now it's not responding. But off to the right, Halola is over there somewhere, and Tropical Depression 5E, which has formed in the East Pacific. Daniel, what are you doing right now?
Lying on the bed.
Try and find some guess the storms for us.
I can't, because I'm on the iPod.
John, can you?
Sorry.
So I'm gonna have to be going mute for a little while. So if you excuse me.
Yes, sure thing. Me and Daniel have a little chat in the meantime.
Okay.
Okay. So what do you think about the?
The man says okay.
What do you think about Atlantic activity this year, Daniel?
Rubbish.
In layman's terms, rubbish. Quite often you get.
Understatement.
Quite often you get Devon and other people on here being very waffling on about it, and Daniel's really straight to the point. Rubbish.
It's like we're beating a dead horse here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you must be pretty impressed with the amount of activity we've seen elsewhere this year, though, Daniel.
Yeah.
42 storms already in 2015, by the way. Everyone listening right now, that is a very high number for this time of year. Let me actually find out how that compares to other years, other very active years. At this point in time in 2013, not a particularly active year, but just one for the comparisons, it was at 32 by this point, so 10 less. In what became the record-breaking year 1992, it had 35 by this point, so we're 7 ahead of that. In 1996, which came second in the most storms ever, second or third, it had 37, so 5 behind. And get this, in 1985, which led the way all the way until October in terms of the most amount of storms by calendar day, it was only at 41. So we're at 42 right now, and in my opinion, I don't know for sure, but I expect that that is a record high for this time of year. Remarkable.
Yeah.
And that's not to mention what we are in terms of hurricane equivalent storms. 23 already this season. The highest of those years I mentioned was 1992 by this calendar day, which had reached 20, so 3 ahead of that. 16 majors, category 3 or higher. 1992 was only up to 12. And 6 category 5s. 1992 was only on 1, but I do know that 1997 was the record holder, but I don't think 1997 was much more than 1 by now either. So 6 category 5s. We've been a bit quiet on that front recently, but gosh, 6 already. It's higher than I think it was. I can't remember now, but about 50. I might be wrong in that, but a lot of years, full years, have seen less than 6 Category 5 storms in the world. So, amazing.
Impressive.
Very impressive. So there we are.
Yeah.
Any graphics you'd like us to show again, or for the first time, or anything at all, then we may oblige. Yes.
Me.
You?
Yeah. Could you show that photograph I sent last night?
No.
No.
We can't do that on the show, Daniel.
Sorry.
Ridiculous.
Is this what you're looking at right now? Can it be rotated, or is it just still images?
It's just a still image.
Oh, I thought it was like Google Earth, but with real time.
For one of them, I might either look for you guys to look away for a second because the tab has a name on it. So
Oh,
I'm sorry. I tried to remove it, but I couldn't.
Oh my.
So I mean, it has it on the tab, not in the image itself.
Yeah.
That'd be difficult.
All right, just warning you.
You can always just save it as an image and call it something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, fine. I'll do that.
That's what I did with Angela.
Yes.
Save.
Angela. Would you like to tell everyone watching what your connection with Angela is, Daniel?
Angela and her husband Alan.
Oh God.
The two people who were called on my prank call channel, and they live in the northwest of England.
Okay, don't go any more specific.
Okay.
Say no more.
Well, let's tell you what happened on this day in the world of storms. Here in the UK, for 12 minutes at least, it's still July the 11th. We've entered the 12th in the West Pacific, of course, and we're still in the 11th, where Halola is right now. And when a storm crosses the international date line, it goes for 24 hours. So Halola will be saying hello to July the 13th before too long. Sorry, is it the 13th? 12th. So I'm getting all confused with the time zones. Say if it crossed the international date line right now, it would go from, I think it must be about 13 hours behind or something like that. So what would that make it? About 10 a.m. on July the 11th to 9 a.m. on July the 12th.
I got 4 so far.
Excellent, John. Remarkable work. Well, let's tell you what happened on this day, July the 11th. Hurricane Abby peaked as a Category 2 storm in the Caribbean. Bob, in 1979, made landfall in Louisiana as a Category 1 storm. It caused 1 fatality and $20 million in damages. Tropical Storm Bill in 1997 formed, and Tropical Storm Emily formed in 2005 in the Central Atlantic. Any comments on Emily, John?
Emily? Hurricane Emily of 2005?
Indeed, it formed on this day.
Yeah. It was operationally a Category 4 at its peak, but however, in post-analysis, it was deemed a Category 5.
I've got a question.
Yes.
You know when you do it on this day, is all the information written down, or is it from memory?
Oh, it's all written down, don't worry.
Oh, yeah.
Good, don't worry.
Also on this day, in the East Pacific, Carlotta dissipated in 1975, Gilmer formed in 78, Delilah formed in 89, Hood formed in 06, Elida in 08, and that's it. In the West Pacific, Chatan in 2002 dissipated near Japan, but still managed to cause $500 million in damages there. Tropical Storm Conson in 2010 formed, and Tropical Storm Ma-on in 2011 also formed. Any comments on that, Daniel?
No, not really.
Okay, John?
One of them I couldn't use. Again, it had a name and image, so I couldn't use it. So I'm trying to find another one. Just hang tight.
Well, actually, let's. Okay, we'll wait just another minute so you can do that one more. But we could have gone on straight away, but that's fine. So let me remind everyone what the warnings are in effect right now. For China, I'm guessing it's still a red typhoon warning. Of course, the storm did make a brief landfall in China before moving away. Didn't move over as much land as we expected it to, because it moved back out to sea rather quickly. But it did indeed make a landfall as I think it would have been a Category 1 typhoon, possibly a Cat 2, I'm not sure, affecting the whole eastern coast of China. And if we hear any news of what damage the storm may have caused, then I'm not particularly sure where to find that information.
If you want to get started,
I'll take a look.
If you want me to get started, I can get started right now.
Let's get started, John. Playing Guess the Storm. I guess it's me and Daniel versus the viewers.
Alright, ready? Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, you should do that.
Okay, so there's John's screen and coming up somewhere.
Oh crap! I didn't click it, didn't I?
No.
Give me a second.
1.
There you go.
Oh, right. All right.
Oh, where is it?
Oh dear, John, that's pretty easy.
I know. I thought. I
Not
want.
for me, it isn't.
I want to mess with Daniel a little bit.
Daniel, do you know what it is?
Is it? I don't know. Is it? Yeah. Is it?
Okay, do you know where it is?
It's in the northern hemisphere.
No.
Oh,
Hopeless.
Silly,
something.
silly rabbit.
Hopeless.
Okay.
Well,
If you want,
I
okay.
got it mixed up.
Give
No,
one
peanuts.
name. Okay, Daniel, give a name, and we'll say if it's right or wrong.
Isabel.
No. Okay, you can say it, Nathan.
It's Cyclone Tracy.
Oh.
Former smallest cyclone in the world. Here's another one.
Oh, beautiful storm.
Mm.
That's interesting. I'm not sure what that one might be. It's familiar though. It actually has a bit of a look of Pam, but it won't be.
Felix.
Because
No.
instead, I think it's one of the. Oh, but then again, it's difficult to tell.
Want to know they know what the barometric pressure reading on the storm was, or they'll give it away?
Well, just a moment. It's pretty difficult to tell whether that's actually a northern or southern hemisphere storm. I just can't. I can't think of it at the moment. I'm just trying to figure out how this works. Hold on, I'm just getting my bearings.
I didn't edit the image at all.
Yeah, that's southern hemisphere, that.
Hagapit. No, it's northern.
But it does look a lot like one of those big typhoons.
The barometric pressure was in the 870s.
Then sure, that'd have to be a northern hemisphere storm then.
Nope, it's not.
Is it
Well,
long
then,
one?
that means you've got your official facts wrong.
No, you know what?
I know what it is though. It
You know what
has to be. If it's in the southern hemisphere, it has to be Monica.
Yay, you got it.
Oh, this is hard.
Never mind, Daniel.
Let me prove it.
Yeah.
Let me prove my fact is right. Give me a second.
It's probably it's an unofficial reading.
Oh, disputed. Disputed.
No,
Sorry.
even the 916 is disputed. Some people think it
Sorry.
was less, and it probably was. I mean, come on, look at it.
Looks a lot like Tip to me.
No, I don't know about Tip.
Okay.
Maybe Haiyan.
What about Tip?
Shit.
Daniel, shut your brother up in the background, please.
Sorry.
There we go.
Okay.
Sandy.
No, this looks like.
Irene.
Yes?
Yes.
John?
It's not Irene.
No,
Oh,
I know that. Is it Hurricane Earl?
Earl didn't make landfall there.
Did it
Earl
not?
was a little.
No,
Earl,
it didn't.
Earl was a little bit more to the east. It just grazed the coast.
Cat 4, and then did another Cat 4 little bit there. Which, yeah, I didn't think it was Earl.
was it
But
this
it
year?
looked like it. No.
Oh.
Daniel.
It was quite the large storm.
No, Martinez says Irene.
Not Irene.
Yeah, we said. Could it possibly be Floyd?
You got it.
Yes!
Oh.
Alright, let me okay, give me a second and get ready for the
Well,
next one.
that's the first one that I'll actually give myself a point for. So it's 1-0 to the team.
Let's see if I can zoom in a bit on this one. Give me a second.
Okay, 1 second only. 1.
I can't. I'm sorry, I can't zoom in on this one very well. I'm gonna have to.
That's okay.
I'm gonna
Daniel,
have to.
how are you?
I'm gonna have to.
I'm good.
I'm gonna have to deal with it.
Yeah, sure. Well, whilst you're working on that, let's take a look at the latest Himawari image, show what's going on.
I mean, I did see a little microscope thingy, but it didn't work.
7:30 a.m. in Japan. You can see these storms. Well, this is as of 7:30 a.m.
See if I can increase the resolution of my screen.
You can see the storms there in daylight now, looking pretty good. Okay, go, John.
All right. This is how I'm gonna have to do it. I had to turn up my resolution on my screen. That's how I had to do it. I'm sorry.
Are we on now?
Yes, we're good now. I think we're on. Yeah. Here it is. Is it not? Is it? Oh, my computer to a fail on me again.
Yes.
Computer fail. Sorry. Here we go.
Oh, I see it. Okay. Guess 2, it's called.
Yeah.
This is interesting. That looks like it might be. Oh no, it isn't.
Is it John?
It's actually something else.
What? Did I give you guys 2 easy ones today? Did I give you guys too many easy ones?
No, because I've not got a clue what this is. Is it John?
No. No, it is not.
Good.
Isabel.
No. I haven't got a clue.
Is it Cyclone Willie?
That's Southern Hemisphere, so yeah, I know exactly where it is, but that doesn't look recent. So I can't say anything like Kate or Quang.
I'm trying to see if I can have a right tool here. There's no writing tool on here because I was gonna write a little fail thing like Devin did.
Ah,
What is it?
outrageous. I wonder if any of our viewers know.
Nisha.
No.
That was a random name.
I've no idea.
I think I relatively stumped you guys.
Absolutely stumped us, guys.
I'm always stumped.
Well,
It was okay. Give you a hint.
yeah.
Recent.
Sorry?
Recent.
Was it?
It happened in the last couple of years.
Remarkable.
Is it Wilma?
I'm trying to think of storms that area. Well, it can't be at peak, but the storm I can think of in that area, Gillian
Mm-mm.
and Bruce.
Bingo.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Oh.
Well, I didn't think I'd get that.
Yeah.
I actually thought Bruce might have been a bit further west there, but never mind. It's Bruce. Well, that makes it 2-0 to the
I don't
team
have any
here.
more. I don't have any more.
We need to actually get someone representing the viewers on our show.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
If anyone's
check.
interested, Martinez, I know you like playing this game, and if Hank's around, he seemed pretty good at this game too.
Let me see. I'm looking. My subscriptions.
Oh,
Besides, I am subscribed. So as I am subscribed to you, so I can tickle images here. Okay. Someone said Irene. Julian said Irene.
yeah, we've seen all that. Don't worry. Let me see if I can get up another image which might be of interest.
Let me see
I'm
if I
actually
can.
going to load up an obscure ISS image that no one's ever seen somewhere. I have to find it first.
I might have seen it. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll know too.
We'll have to see, won't we?
I'm gonna try doing a drawing thing, see if it works.
A drawing.
Yeah, it's kind of like Google Paint. Google's ripoff of Paint. Well, I try to find an image so I can try doing a fail thing. Let's see. I might look for one right now.
So I'm going to be misleading with this, perhaps, but I want it to be identifiable in some way. Difficult to actually do against the storm.
Trust me, I'm gonna find a hard one. Just you wait. I'll find one. Relax.
Well, I'll just do this. Are you ready?
Yeah, I can.
Well, sorry, Daniel, what?
I said I was born ready.
Yeah. What the hell is this?
Oh, turn things upside down, huh?
No, that's just how it was taken.
Looks like
There is no upside down in space.
looks like an
Exactly.
eye.
This could be quite misleading. I'm not sure if to call it a northern or southern hemisphere storm. I'm not sure to call it here.
Yeah.
You can
The
tell
dir-
whether you can tell, you know, John.
Okay, I'm
It
turning
may
my
suck.
head. I'm turning my head. Yeah, it's a northern hemisphere system.
Very good.
Oh, what year?
I'm not saying what year. But
ISS, it's sometime in the 90s or 2000s or 2010s.
so ISS, the International Space Station, they started taking pictures in 2000, so it's going to be after that.
Gonzalez.
No, Gonzalez.
Fail.
Foolish.
Foolish boy.
Any guesses from the viewers? Please send it in. Any questions for us about the storms before we finish up after we finish this? Then we'll also do that for little questions and answers at the end.
I'll go
Daniel,
to bed.
any ideas what this is?
No.
Think of well-known storms that you know about.
Wilma.
No.
Wanda. What?
I'm gonna make a guess that's probably gonna be
Wonder.
wrong. I'm gonna make a guess that's probably going
What's
to be
this?
wrong.
A Cyclone Wanda.
Before you say it, John. Well-known. Well, it's not necessarily the first one that jumps to your mind, but it's one that Daniel will have heard of. That's what I mean by well-known.
Jacqueline?
No.
Isaac.
No, not Isaac. Martina says Danielle. No.
Ivan?
Sorry?
Ivan?
Correct, it is.
For God's sake, I even said it like an eye.
Ah, you mean I in that way?
Yes.
Oh, I see what you did.
Very good. Well, John's got it as well, so remarkable work. Do you have any more?
I'm looking for one right now. Give me a second.
Beautiful picture, by the way.
It is a
plenty of
beautiful
them. There's
picture.
another one of Ivan back in 2004. Amazing photos.
How well do you know your basin crossing systems?
Not very well. I don't know. But we'll see, won't we?
Would you want to go skydiving in that?
File, paste, image, see, paste.
I've got a question.
Yes.
What happens if you went skydiving in a hurricane?
You'd end up with problems.
Give me a second.
How long would it take to die?
A few minutes.
You get bashed about by the wind.
I'm not actually sure.
Check it out.
It's calm in the eye, but I'm not sure whether it's calm higher up.
You could try it out for us.
You can, yeah. Now, why did I press reload and not the little button?
Okay. Get ready.
Try and load
Almost set up.
Where are we?
Right,
Okay, thank you.
20. Try 20. Okay, let's see if that works. There we go.
This will be our last one.
Alright. Okay, ready?
Yes, we're ready, John.
Yes.
Alright, here it comes.
Will Daniel get it?
Oh!
Okay, well,
Katrina.
you couldn't possibly zoom in on us on that, would you? Could you?
Has it got...
Give me a second.
Isaac.
If it's a basin crosser,
Yeah. Don't run through the whole list of them.
well, the first one I can think of that
You can probably tell what I'm doing here.
that fits the era of satellite that we're sort of looking at there. Could it perhaps be Joan Miriam? Even though it was a strong storm back then, so it probably isn't. It's not. Yes, Daniel?
I don't know. Uh,
Go on.
I don't know. Can't think.
Is it Caesar Douglas? It's the only one I can think of right now. I think it's spelled.
Hang on a second. I don't know how to.
You say it's a basing crosser, right?
Is it Alan?
I tricked you. It is.
Oh. Spelt differently though.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not a good speller, Caesar.
Caesar without an A in that instance. Martinez guessed also, was it beta, but obviously not. Okay, well, I think that pretty much concludes our show. Thank you, John, for joining us.
I think I shouldn't have pulled a Devon yet.
Sorry?
I didn't pull a Devon, I guess.
No. But Devon's not very good at that game himself, so.
No, I mean in terms of the fail thing.
Yeah. But there we are. And hey, if anyone's interested in taking part in Force 13's game shows in September, please let us know and send in an application form or something like that. We'll probably accept you anyway.
Yeah.
I know for sure I'm gonna be in that one.
Fantastic. Well, that's it from us. Daniel, any final words from you?
No, not really. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Yeah.
And we'll leave you with our typhoon threats from the Himawari imagery, if we can indeed see it. I'll just say what storms we have active and then finish. Typhoon Chan-Hom, which is still a typhoon, just about, with winds of 75 miles per hour, headed towards the Korean Peninsula. We'll be tracking that one a lot on our social media pages. Search Force 13 on Facebook and Twitter to find out the latest information. And to find out also when we're going live, but if you don't see any other messages on there saying when we'll be live, it will be the same time as today. Here's the latest image on Nangka, which is a 90 mile per hour Category 1 typhoon and is still on a weakening trend, but for how long? That was Hila, that's gone now. This will be Halola when I click the right buttons. And Iune, both in the central part of the Pacific. There's Halola, expected to become a typhoon in the next 5 days, and could cause problems in Wake Island. There is Iune, the 42nd storm of the year worldwide. Halfway to average.
Guess so.
97E. Which is not looking too bad in the Eastern Pacific. 90% chance in the next 48 hours. And Tropical Depression 5 in the Eastern Pacific, which is expected to become the East Pacific's next hurricane in the next 5 days. But from Team 13, that's all from us. Goodbye.
See ya!
Goodbye. Toodles.